hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day. So far today, we are going back behind my Spotify. This time around, we're going to be giving Survival in Motion by Taylor Acorn a good old-fashioned review. Now, the album just came out. It's 11 p.m. now. It came out at 9 p.m. I wanted to listen to it, give it my review of what I thought about the album. And to start off by reviewing this album, I want to say this because I just want to say it, get it out there. This is the best way I can put it for what this album is. Survival in Motion is not certified depressant. And you're probably thinking, what does that mean? Well, it's not the same. This album and that EP/album, they're not the same thing. They're completely different. And I want to explain why. So let's just go ahead and get into this. I just finished listening to the album, even though it's fresh, and I've only listened to it once through. I do want to give my thoughts on this, and I want to talk about Certified Depressant real quick, because that is technically Taylor's first album. It is considered an album on Spotify. It's not an EP, even though I think Taylor called it an EP. Which is interesting, but let's just go over it real quick because I have reviewed the album. I'm gonna call it an album because it is an album. I have reviewed this entire thing. Everything in this whole thing is great. Every single thing, even the stuff that released later, is really good. Like, I'm pretty sure Sticking Around, Good Enough, Famous Last Words, and Everything Sucks, I believe were the only 4 songs that were new, and dude, they slapped. Like, they really did a good job of painting a picture, and that's the whole reason I like this album is because I think every song tells a story. Every song tells a story. Every song hits as hard as it sounds. It's just really good. It's just a solid record. And even like I talked about this so much, but Famous Last Words, meaning I love you. Like, there's so much to this album that I love, and I don't know. I really like the album. I really like it a lot. And the reason I say that Survival in Motion is not certified depressant is because there are songs in that album that do not hit the same way that every song in here does. That is my main issue with Survival in Motion. And we are going to get into stuff because I did have issues with Certified Depressant. It wasn't just a perfect album. Nothing's perfect in the world, but we're going to talk about the songs that I liked and the songs I didn't like. Because when it comes to music and when it comes to albums, I like stuff that grabs me. If nothing grabs me, I listen. It's just sound. I like stuff that grabs me and pulls at my strings, Like, I don't know. That's what gets me going for an album. If I can listen to it and be like, I will play this on repeat. But that's not the case here with a lot of these. So I'm just going to say this right now. The singles are pretty much the only songs I like off the album, which is a bummer. And I don't know what it is. I think Taylor was going for a heavier sound on this album, even though there's kind of a lot of softer tracks. Like Be Like You, Birds Still Sting, and even People Watching. Those are like kind of softer tracks. But yeah, a lot of the songs they're either not consistent in their sound, like they change up a lot, or they're a little heavier. Like, I think, what song was it? I think it was Final Nail or Nervous System that got really heavy and glitchy at times. And same thing with Survival in Motion. Towards the very end, it got really like breakdowny, which I know is a weird phrasing, but yeah, the only songs I really liked were like Survival in Motion. I think that's the title track of the album is solid. Greener is a really good song. People Watching is a newer one. I love that song a lot. It's really good. High Horse is my favorite one out of this entire record. It's just a solid song. I did at one point think I thought it was about me, which I'm like, I'm a nobody. No one knows who I am. She doesn't know who I am. I did like a whole lyric lore series I have since deleted because it's impossible to keep up with someone's work and continuously do it, because I had plans to do it with other artists. I gave up on it. It was kind of a shot in the dark, and I was just like, I'm doing too much. So, but yeah, I after reading the lyrics, I'm like, no, I think it's about a general group of people that probably harassed Taylor online, and she's addressing it in that song. But yeah, and there is one song I do like on the record that isn't a single, which is "Be Like You." Song's talking about like how she wishes she could be like this person who like has it all. And then I think somewhere in the song towards the end, she talks about like being like her younger self, who like had everything at the time, which is pretty cool twist on the song. But yeah, this album, it's not great. I only, again, like, it's 10 songs, I only like half of them. Kind of sucks. It's not certified depressant. That's what I meant by like saying at the start, like, it's not certified depressant. It's completely different. It's not even the same sound. I would think, like, I swear, High Horse, People Watching, maybe like High Horse, Greener, I think those fit on certified depressant. Maybe People Watching and Survival Emotion, but that's a reach even then. Now getting into some other stuff about the album and what I think could have been done to maybe not amp it up, but like to add to it, because I did this with Certified Depressant. There were songs on this album that I wish were there, and they weren't on the album. So let's just kind of go over that real quick, if you guys don't mind. So songs that weren't on Certified Depressant, Wishing You Hell wasn't on there. I think Shape Shifting also wasn't on there. In my head, those are like some of the songs that I wish were on Certified Depressant but weren't. That could have made it a full-on album, but they just weren't on there. And then Coma, the one with Cassidy Pope, I think should have been on that record. That's what I talked about in that review. Now, what's interesting is Gray and Basement aren't on Survival Emotion, nor are they on Certified Depressant. They're kind of just standalone singles. And I don't know why. I would love to know why they're not on the record and why they're just singles, because they did really well. Like, I think Basement kind of throws back to Certified Depressant, and Gray is kind of in between the two records. Yeah, I don't know. I part of me wishes that Certified Depressant would have been the album that came out. Like, if you would have just taken those singles that you put onto Survival Emotion and threw them on Certified Depressant, you don't have to title it Certified Depressant. You could have like kept it Survival Emotion, but added those. I don't know. Just something. I really wanted another Certified Depressant album, because I love every single on this. Like, I will listen to it front to back. It's just so good. It's a repeater, and you can tell by the numbers. It's a repeater. It really is. So yeah, to just say, like, again, I liked half the album, not the entire thing. It's just maybe even if I listened to it again, I think I'd still feel the same way. But yeah, I think I was hoping for another Certified Depressant and didn't get it, which is unfortunate. Now, the other negative I'm going to throw in the wrench here for this album, I've already talked about it. It's in a video talking about vinyl and CDs. There is no CD available for purchase for this album. It's only vinyl and it's only cassette, which drives me bonkers. It drives me insane. I don't like that. I actually hate that, because I grew up on CDs. I'm sure Taylor grew up on cassettes. I don't know about vinyl, but I didn't grow up on vinyl. I didn't grow up on cassette. I grew up on CDs, and I like putting CDs in my car just to play the album. And it's actually part of, if I really like an album, I want to have a CD to go along with it, because that proves, like, you know, one, I bought something for the album, but also I can just play it in the car and have it, you know, for myself to have. I don't know, like, it's kind of like a collector thing, but it's a part of the experience, I guess. And yeah, a little disappointing that there wasn't CD to purchase, but even then, I only liked half the album, so it wouldn't have really mattered. But still, I want to throw that in there, because that is a negative for me. There is no CD option. I don't know. Again, I don't know what the cost to make CDs is. I really don't. But again, I do wish this album would have been a certified depressant. But it's not. It's something on its own. It's a little. I feel like it's all over the place for an album. Like there's a lot of different sounds in it, and I think the sounds I'm used to are High Horse, Greener, even Survival Emotion and People Watching. Those are sounds I'm used to, and then the other songs just kind of go all over. But yeah, I don't know. Nothing really grabbed me with this album, and I was hoping it would. But yeah, if I had to give it a rating, it's definitely going to be like, I don't want to go too low, but I do feel like it is a 7 or a 6 out of 10. It's somewhere there, 6.5 maybe. It's not an album I like by Taylor. Again, Certified Depressant was my favorite thing from her, and maybe at some point in the future we'll see something like that return. I don't know if she was testing stuff with this album to see what would work, but maybe she liked what came out and she was just going with that sound. But I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be the video for today. But thank you guys for watching. If you did, as always, I appreciate it a ton. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And yeah, goodbye.